everyone. Welcome to the Elite Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Popple, and today we have a great guest, Joe Arnao. Joe is the founder of 4W Strategic Consulting and the creator of the 4W Framework, a powerful decision-making model helping real estate agents align who they are with how they grow their business. Joe specializes in helping agents break through plateaus, avoid burnout, and build businesses that actually support their life, not just their income. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure if you're in the right environment to grow, this episode is going to give you a completely new way to think about your real estate career. Let's dive in. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Here. Appreciate being on, the opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah, man. No, I'm definitely excited to talk to you. So for listeners meeting you for the first time, what exactly do you do?
All right. So I work with real estate agents. I've been in the business since 2003, always in leadership roles and recruiting, coaching. And I just took all that, and through that experience, I realized a lot of agents are not getting what they actually need. So because they're being pushed, right? Going to a brokerage, they have their ways, or they listen to a coach who's trying to sell their one methodology. So I really look at the agent and what they need and help them understand who they are and what they need to succeed, why they're doing it, and where is their best environment. Sometimes it means they should make a move from one broker to another. Sometimes it's just a realignment, and they are where they are, and they just need awareness of where their strengths are, where their roadblocks are, and how to get through it.
No, that makes sense. So I know you focus heavily on alignment. What does that actually mean in real estate?
Yeah, so going back to that, agents being pushed one methodology or another. When you get into this business, you try all these different methodologies, right? Door knocking, cold calling, farming, sphere of influence, and sometimes people think they're in the right mode or they're being coached to go one way, and it just doesn't get the traction that they want. It's they're pushing a heavy rock, and they're working too much sometimes and not getting to the level of production that they want. So by figuring out what their alignment, meaning they're doing their job, they're growing their business the way that is most natural to them, so that there's a flow to what they're doing. They're not just pushing every morning, we get up and do it again, just keep pushing harder and harder. That's not always the case. And that's sometimes what we think is the right thing, and just banging our heads against the wall sometimes.
Right. Now, what led you to create the 4W framework?
So it comes down to the 4W framework comes down to the who, what, where, and why. And it just kind of came to me when I was going through all my questions and putting out my format. I was like, hey, this is 4Ws. So we built it around the compass rose. So the 4Ws give you direction into how and where you should be running your business and the path that you can take. So that's where all that 4Ws came about. And it's not an uncommon framework as far as the 4Ws. The Ws sometimes change. You'll find it in other applications and other businesses as well. I didn't know that until I went to go trademark it.
Man, there's another person with this original idea.
That's right.
Yeah. But I think that's really cool how you put that in for real estate. So when you talk how most agents plateau after early success, why does that happen?
There's some people get complacent in what they're doing, or they get lucky sometimes, or strangely enough, when this is the strangest thing in business, in sales. Sometimes agents or any salesperson will find what's working for them. They'll be chugging along, and then they'll stop doing it, and their business will start to slow down. And then they say, "Oh, I got to start doing it again," right? And they just keep doing this, or they get stuck with the paperwork. They get stuck with all those tasks that a real estate transaction takes and the marketing takes. They get absorbed in all that, and they're not out there selling. They're not making the connections. They're They're not building those relationships. They're going to actually build their business. They get stuck behind a computer and doing the things that are not productive. That's probably the biggest one, and that's where you see that porpoising in businesses, in a real estate agent's business, because they'll finally get the business, they'll start cranking, and then they're doing the business, and all of a sudden, because they're doing the business, they're not marketing. They start to come down, and then they start to come back up, and it just keeps going on.
Yeah, actually, I saw a really good Instagram reel earlier today from one of the local brokers in the area who's sold some of the record houses over in the 30A market. And one of the things he was saying was that once a real estate agent starts to make a little bit of money, one of the first things they should do is hire an assistant.
100%.
To start taking care of all those medial tasks that just have to get done, but don't have to get done by you. Because the agent should really be focused on just the building the relationships, which is also the marketing and stuff like that. He was talking about a way to avoid burnout, but it kind of went right in line with what you were saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good for an agent to understand the paperwork, to understand what the construct is of it. Filling it out is not a productive activity. There are people that can fill it out. There are people that can take that signed agreement and take it to the close. That is not a process that the agent's being hired for, right? They're
Right.
hiring you because of the value you bring, your expertise in the market, your negotiating skills, your ability to give them the experience and guide them. They're not hiring you to do paperwork. That stuff gets in their way. That gets in your way of giving them the service that you want, or going out and getting more business. And the
No,
marketing is the same thing.
right. What are the most common patterns you see where you see agents who get stuck in?
Oh, I would say leverage. We're staying on the same topic. It's often leverage. There's an agent I was coaching. He was trying to hit 35K a month, 30K a month in GCI, gross commission, and he was in the very beginning. He was very reluctant to take on a TC or marketing person, and we did a 90-day program. I have a 90-day uh, acceleration program I go through based on the 4Ws, and by the end of that 4Ws, we had the people in place so that he and his entire family went away for 6 weeks during the summer, and he exceeded his goal. So that's the power of leverage and getting that stuff off your desk and out of your way so that you can just concentrate on your business and your life, right? I mean, how many agents are working 7 days a week? They're pushing at midnight and beyond. Um, a lot of them claim they love it, and maybe they do. I guess it's, what do you value out of life? What do you want from it? What's it
Right.
for? Right?
No, definitely. So let's get into the 4W framework. Let's really break down what it is. I know you mentioned it briefly, but let's reiterate. What are those 4Ws?
Okay, so the who is really what are your values? What are your beliefs? What are your guardrails? What is it that you will never do? Your non-negotiables. What is it that you want to do? Where you thrive, where you feel the most energy, where your day is going to go by and you lost track of time because you're so into it that you didn't even know what time it was. And it's not you're grinding, you're flowing, right? That's where you want to find the who. It's the what gives you the power, what takes it away, so that you can stay in the lanes and those guardrails. And that's the who. Also, part of the who is who do you want to show up as, right? What do you when you show up in on this podcast or in front of a client or in the supermarket? That's you. That's your brand, right? So who do you want to be when you show up? What do you want people to see that you are and believe you are at hello, basically.
Mhm.
The what is tools, What kind of structure do you need? Do you need coaching? Do you need a mentor? Do you need um, uh, the leverage we were talking about, systems, people? What is it that you need to get to where you want to go and to make your who come alive? And then the where is sometimes it's a brokerage. A lot of agents are in the wrong brokerage, or it might be they're in the right brokerage and they're not hanging around with the right people, or they're not getting their sphere. And I don't mean their sphere of influence that they're selling to, the sphere that they're working with, their influencers that are helping them build a business. The average, the average of the 5 people they hang around with. Well, I'm an old guy, and most people I'm hanging around with are in their 40s because I don't want to be an old guy. I don't want to think like an old guy, right? So I want to hang around with people that are tackling AI. I want to be the people that are driving new businesses. I want to be around those people, and I'm very cautious about who I spend my time with. And everybody should think that way, and not in a selfish. Well, it is a selfish way. It's very selfish, and it's selfish in a way that you're getting from them, and it's only going to be work if you're giving to them, right? It's got to be a two-way street. It's got to be give and take in that. So that's the where. It could, like I said, it could be the wrong brokerage, wrong systems. The why is the why, right? This isn't an easy business,
Right.
right? You got to get up. We all wake up unemployed every morning, and we got to find our next business and keep it growing. So
Right.
what's gonna keep you going? What's that vision for 5 years, 10 years down the road that you can picture, you can feel that how you want to live? What does that look like? And then the cool thing about when you start thinking about how you want to live, and if you're writing it down and you're journaling it, and you have aphorisms, is that the right word? Uh, yeah, whatever. You keep repeating it. Affirmations. That's it.
Affirmations. There you
You start to feel it, and you start to live it, even though you're picturing out in the distance. You start living that way. You start making decisions without even thinking about it to get to that point, and it starts to become part of you already. And it's not something that is going to happen. It's something that is happening when you start to do that. And that's the why. Is it vacations? Is it you want to create uh, uh, give away money? Do you want to create donations? Whatever what it is that you want to do, when you get to some point that is going to be impactful, like some kind of destination that you're going to get to. And that destination continues to go outward, right? The final destination is the final destination. It's what we do in between that matters.
Right. Now, how does understanding who you are impact your business decisions?
So let me ask you, what is a non-negotiable in your world right now?
Um, well, on my lot purchases, I never spend more than 15% of ARV on land. So
Okay, so there you go,
that's
right?
yeah.
And that's how you make decisions. It could
Right.
be anything like that. It could be I'm not going to work past 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to
Okay.
spend a date night with my wife, my significant other. Um, it's those things when you look about how you want to live, when you know who you are and how you want to live, and what turns you on and what takes away your energy. You start to value those moments where what really matter. This isn't for everybody. There
Right.
are some people, when I did this process to myself, and I have it automated too. So part of my coaching program is a full-on discovery that takes about 2 or 3 hours for a person to go through. It helped develop all these, get all this out. Some people cry. I mean, it can be hard. Um, and what was I going with this? I
The
forget where I was going with it.
yeah. I was asking how does understanding who you are impact your business decisions?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So same thing with the personal life and your business life. When you know where your strengths are and your weaknesses are, you're going to make decisions based on that, right? You know where your line is as far as your ethics go. You know what lines you'll push, what lines you won't, what client you want to work with. And part of my process is defining who you actually want to work with. Who's your ideal client? So that when you're out there showing up like you want to show up, you are attracting the people that you naturally want to work with. And anytime you put out any marketing, it goes through that filter so that you are always attracting and doing what you're doing to attract the right people that you want to work with. And then that just continues to snowball. So those are the decisions that you look at. It's, I have a, I know when I need a coach, whether
Mhm.
it's in most of my coaching right now is, well, it's always head. It's more head than it is tactic, right? It's not tactical. Sometimes you need a tactical coach. Sometimes you need a mindset coach. So, those are the things that you look at. Okay, where am I going? You pay attention more to, I don't want to sound wishy-washy, but you pay attention to your energy. And I was going to say your feelings, but you pay attention to your energy and where you're spending your time. And it becomes, the agents start to realize that some of the things that they do are not worth it,
Mhm.
right? They're, whether it's sitting in front of a TV or playing games or hanging around with the wrong people, um, whatever it is, sometimes they're just, okay, this is not that's not who I am. And they end up, that all translate into how they run their business. And it just becomes a more natural, a more natural fit. Life and work. This is a very personal business. So in real estate, it has to intertwine. They have to complement each other. Otherwise, it doesn't. It's going to be a push pull, and you're going to burn out.
Right. Now, how should agents evaluate where they work, especially when choosing a brokerage?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of questions in that, right? Um,
Mhm.
so how are you being recognized? Are you getting what you need? Is when you if you need support, is it there when you need it? Are the systems that they're forcing on you or you're paying for what you want? Is it helping your business? Are you using them? Is there the culture is probably one of the bigger ones. Are the people around you those that you want to be around? So if you look at a brokerage, you might be at a brokerage where you love the split and you're there because you're making good money on every deal. And you look around you and everyone's happy because of that. Yet they're not, you're not hanging around people that are striving to build a business. You're hanging around potentially people that are just trying to save money. So does that fit your mode right now? And it's a great place for a lot of people. Some people want to grow, they want to build, and some those that get drawn just because of split, they might not be the people you should be hanging around with. It might not be the place for you. And giving up some split to get more business and build, it's an investment, right? So that's another piece of the puzzle. Like what am I putting my money into at this brokerage? Um, and a lot of it comes down to the agents that are in there, you're surrounded by. Um, Sometimes there's too much oversight for some agents where they're being driven to do a certain amount of production that doesn't fit them. They could be in a brokerage that is all about lead gen and it's just that hamster wheel and they just got to pick up the phone, bang, 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 and that's not them. That's not who they want to be. So that could be part of it. So how I don't know. So when somebody say, "Are you in the right brokerage?" If someone would say, "Am I in the right brokerage?" They would have to look at and say, "Okay, am I working the way I want to work as much as I want and getting the return I want. If that's not the case, then it's time to reevaluate what you're doing. If you're banging your head against the wall or the ceiling of where you are, or you're not getting that traction that you want, it's time to say, okay, what's going on? I need to evaluate what's happening.
Right. Now, what are some signs an agent is in the wrong environment?
It probably the people that they're hanging around with is probably the first clue, or if they even see anybody, right? Sometimes in this world we're in and the way that some of these brokerages are built, there's no community at
Hmm.
many places. And sometimes that's great for some agents, and it's not for a lot of agents either. They need to have some kind of community, some kind of have day-to-day or weekly exposure to humans and flesh, not just screens. Um, so that it's such a wide variety of answers to that question. It
Hmm.
really comes down to, am I doing what's in my best interest? Some agents are at this business for 3 years. They're doing 6, 8, 12 deals a year. They're making okay money, yet they're burning out. They're working a lot of hours. And again, they're not getting that return on it. They're not
Right.
happy where they are.
No, for sure. Now, a lot of agents are constantly brokerage shopping. What are they getting wrong?
They're constantly brokerage shopping. And that is so this is the reason this all started with all this is having been a recruiter, I've seen so many agents make the wrong move. First, that sometimes they shouldn't be moving. They're in the right place. Secondly, they're chasing some kind of shiny object, whether it's promised downline money or a great split or um, technology that they may never use. So they chase these things, follow friends, hear about something that might help their business. It sounds right, yet they don't take the time to stop and do the 4Ws. They don't look at who they are, what they really need, and what environment's going to actually work for them. They listen to the recruiter, they listen to their friends. They don't listen to themselves, because asking those questions of yourself is not easy, right? They're hard to they're hard to answer when someone else asks them, and most people are not going to ask those questions of themselves.
Right. Uh, what should agents actually prioritize most when trying to find that perfect brokerage with the right culture and environment for them?
But one more time, so ask that again.
Yeah. What do you think agents whose goal is to be successful should prioritize most when choosing a brokerage, as far as when they're trying to find the right culture and environment?
Don't listen to the recruiter on its own, right?
Okay.
Talk to agents that actually work there. If it's your friend recruiting you to go on to another firm, talk to other agents over there. Um, and not necessarily locally. Maybe if it's a national cloud firm, call someone from another area that doesn't know you, that doesn't know that person. Ask them how their systems are. Ask them what they think about it. And again, before you do that and get those answers, you need to know what you're looking for. You need to know what you want. Uh, Don't, I don't want to say don't trust. Um, Investigate, qualify everybody that comes in, and they tell you what to do. Do your investigations, do your research. And I had this one gentleman that went through. He was right when I developed this automated self-discovery program that I'm offering, where he went through it. He was at a brokerage that was all about lead gen, and he hated it. It wasn't him. He wanted to build a business with heart, with people, right?
Mm.
Uh, so I put him on this. He took this program, and the clarity he got when he started going out and speaking with other brokerages, he knew what he needed. He knew what he was looking for by the time he got out there and started talking to people. So he was like, check, nope, nope, nope. And what was really cool is I was doing the same thing simultaneously. I got to know his business and what he was looking for and what he needed. And he picked one of the two brokerages I would have sent him to if he had come to me, if he had asked me. So it was kind of fun to see him go through that process, find the clarity on his own, and then apply that to his next brokerage. So it's all about digging in and getting clarity on who you are and what you really need.
Now, what do you think is more important, the culture or the commission splits?
Culture. Commission split is the last consideration because you can make 100% of 5 deals or 80% of 15 deals. Which one do you want?
Right.
Right. And on those 15 deals, you've got systems, you've got people in place, you have consistency in your marketing, you have all these other things going on for you potentially, where you actually have a life, you're cranking out deals, you're building a bigger business and something that's going to scale. So split is last consideration.
Right. Now you talk about building a business that supports your life. What does that look like in actual practice?
And my client who was able to go away for 6 weeks and come back and his business was still going and he had his
In a
biggest
row?
year.
6 weeks in
6
a
weeks
row?
in a row. He took
Oh
six
man,
weeks off.
and it didn't fall apart.
He took 6 weeks off with his family. They went into the woods somewhere with no communication, very little communication.
I get so uncomfortable if I'm gone more than 3 nights.
It was a big deal for him.
Yeah.
And we had to have everything lined up. And he was supposed to go for 4. He stayed for 6. It
Wow.
just blew my mind. I was so excited when he came back. And the last I spoke to him towards, I think it was probably November, towards the end of the year, his numbers were better than he expected. So that's living life and aligning your business with your life. That's what it looks like.
Right. Now, how can agents balance income goals with personal fulfillment?
That's the coolest thing about this business, right? You can do business anywhere you are. You do it with people that you meet at groceries. I used to live by the beach. I had this one agent in my office who got a deal by sitting next to somebody, the blanket next to him. She heard them speaking about real estate or something. She started chatting with them. She sold them a house. So it becomes part of your world, depending on how that you want that world to be, right? If you're a golfer, you do it on the golf. If you're uh, on the course, there's just ways to incorporate your life into this business. It's not like you're going into a factory and working 9 to 5, waiting for that whistle to blow and then leave. It is part of your world, and if you structure it properly and you have boundaries and you maintain those boundaries, it is a phenomenal living to have. It's a phenomenal way to make money.
That's awesome. What's one shift agents can make immediately to feel more aligned?
One shift. Okay, that's again, those are varied questions. So everybody's different. Um,
Mhm.
if I were to say one shift, I would, I would, the first thing would just stop, right? Stop and really think about where does your energy come from? Because if you can figure that out, where you feel most alive in your business, that is what you want to concentrate on. And then you have to measure every other activity you do against that one. And if you are aware of that and you build on that, that's where you start to thrive. And that's where you'll start to find flow along with a bunch of other components. But that's like the nut, right? It's the nucleus. If you know what's going to give you energy, that's where your business is going to grow. And that's the thing that most agents don't stop to pay attention to. There's so much noise coming at us. There's so many things going on
Mhm.
for somebody to really sit back and stop and wait and listen and dig in deep to who they are and where that power comes from. It takes time and you got to be brave.
Right. No, definitely. Now, if the agent is listening right now and feels stuck, what's the first step that they should take?
Go to my website.
My next question is going to be how to connect with you. So go ahead,
4W
drop that website. What is that?
4W Strategic Consulting. 4W Strategic Consulting. Or if you want to take a really easy, quick shot at it, see where you are. Oh no, go there. So when you go there, there's two options you'll have. There's a free assessment you can take, which takes about 5 minutes. And that one little 5 minute assessment is going to show you, should you be on a team? Should you be a solo agent? It does
Oh,
leadership.
I really, really
Will it
like
look good
that.
for you as a team leader?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gives you that, and it'll actually kind of predict what's next for you, right? So you might be a great solo agent, and now but your percentage of your qualifiers to be a team leader are up there. So what is it you need to do to get to that point if that's the way you want to go? So that's the easiest. It takes 5 minutes, and then if you're ready for the deep dive, there is an opportunity with a 15-minute call, sit down, see if there is a lot we can work together, if what I do makes sense, if where they are in their business makes sense. I can't work with everybody. I can't work with people that are just so egocentric, money driven, and callous, right? I need people that actually care, that want to build a solid business, that care about the people they're treating. They're not just numbers. Those are the people I can work with. The honesty matters too. You can't be a dishonest person, because that's not probably going to be dishonest to yourself too. So
Right.
website, 4W Strategic Consulting, take the 5 minute assessment, or set an appointment. Let's talk 15 minutes and see if I could get you into the program and it makes sense for you.
Nah, I love it. So before we wrap things up, I got to do a couple of shout outs. So if anybody is in the Escambia County area and has any lots and land for sale, my partner and I are actively buying land all around Pensacola, Florida, in the greater Pensacola, Florida area, because we are actively building and developing. So if you have any lots for sale, please go to the elite real estate podcast.com and drop us a message down there at the bottom and let us know what you have. If you need building supplies and you're anywhere in the panhandle of Florida, from Fairhope, Alabama to Panama City, Florida, again, go to the elite real estate podcast.com, drop a message in the bottom, say you need building supplies. My business partner, William, will reach out to you. He is with Dufresne Building Supplies and can definitely get you everything you need for as cheap as possible. And then again, if you're a busy professional living in Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Shalimar, or Tallahassee, Florida, come see me at Clean Eats. Those are my healthy cafes. We do meal prep, average for under $8 a meal. So super affordable. Realtors, you guys are way too busy servicing your clients, finding those deals. You shouldn't be cooking. So like I said, we got those meals ready to go. And give us that website one more time, Joe. So, because I definitely think there's a lot of agents that need it. I definitely think there's a lot that need to go decide if they need to be solo agents or on a team. My personal recommendations, I'm hoping everyone gets on the team, because you got to have a team to handle all the business Will and I can throw at you.
There you
But,
go. Love it. Teams
but
get a bad rap. They do get a bad rap. Being on team is the right thing for so many people.
most of the time, yeah, because and I just tell you, like my partner and I, we worked with he has a newborn and had some last minute doctor visits today, so he wasn't able to make it. But we have a lot. We work with 3 different GCs. We work with a few different realtors, and so we get to make a lot of comparisons in real time. Like we offer on very similar lots. Sometimes we build identical houses in the same spot. So we get to run a lot of tests that the typical real estate investor doesn't always get to do because of the way we work our business. And we can kind of tell you that the people that are on teams are the ones that are easiest to work with. A lot less balls get dropped. We almost hear, I would say, out of the people that I know I personally work with, I hear almost no excuses out of the people that have the team. the people that are solo, occasionally, I hear about, some of their personal reasons of why something couldn't get done. And I'm not saying people shouldn't take their, daughters to cheer weekends or things like that. But do you really want, your personal time to be the end of the business? Because it doesn't have to be if you have the right team structure. It can all keep working. Well, you still go take your family and friends on trips and do your fun stuff with the team. So, but I think they should go to your website, take tests. So, what's that website one more time, Joe?
4wstrategicconsulting.com.
Awesome. Well, man, this was fun getting to meet you and getting to learn about your business. I definitely think you'd be a great coach for a lot of realtors. So, if anybody wants to reach out, Joe, go to his website. Feel free to shoot us a message, and we can connect you. If for some reason you can't remember, but we're going to get the website in the show notes. And Joe, again, I appreciate you coming on tonight, giving us your time, and sharing with everybody some of the mindset tricks of the 4W framework.
It's fantastic, Sam. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, you have a great evening, and we appreciate everybody listening to us on the Elite Real Estate Podcast, and we can't wait to see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in.